Hi, this is Hansen and welcome to Insights to Impossible. Today we're going to be talking about one law that absolutely can change things for you fundamentally when we truly understand it. But before we get to that, do me a favor, subscribe to this channel and like the video below and share it with as many people as you possibly can, because when we do, our life expands and you help expand the lives of others around you, and that is real magic to me. So let's get going. You may be wondering what I'm doing here. We're in the middle of a beautiful natural park just outside Las Vegas, about 45 minutes. It's called Valley of Fire. It is sort of the little sister to Grand Canyon that is really just 2 hours away. But these natural parks, they have something in common, and it ties in with the law that we're going to be talking about today, which is why I chose this location. So the law we're going to be talking about today is the law of non-resistance. You see, what we resist persists. What we give friction to, what we keep resisting and what we keep fighting is what is going to expand in our lives. And that's how we're programmed, isn't it? Somebody does something to us, and we're programmed to react. We're programmed to fight back, right? It's fight or flight. It's a natural instinct. But the problem is that friction causes a lot of negative energy building up in the body. And as Raymond Hollywell points out in his beautiful book, Working with the Law, most people burn out and crash like obsolete machinery because they don't understand this law. They keep creating friction around what they don't want. So I hope you can recognize this in your life. How many times have you resisted a situation or fighting something you knew wasn't very positive, and all you got was more of it? I'm sure you can relate. I know I can. I've had that happen so often. But the more I try to align my life with this law of non-resistance, the easier success becomes. Now, the law doesn't require us to work against what we don't want. It requires us to work with and for what we do want. Isn't that a beautiful concept? Instead of working against something we don't want, let's switch polarity and start working for that which we want. Mother Teresa once said, if you hold a rally against war, I won't be there. But if you are going to be holding a rally for peace, sign me up. Isn't that just really so beautifully a depiction of this law? She knew that. She was going to work for what she wanted, not against that which she didn't want. So I want you to ask yourself, what in your life are you resisting right now? Is it the current job? Is it a relationship? Is it somebody that said something in the past, did something in the past, and you keep giving energy to it? You see, I have had example after example of my participants who are really studying these concepts, who have seen tremendous change in their lives when they stopped working against that which they didn't want and started working for that which they did want. I love how Abraham Lincoln put it. He said, when I make my enemy my friend, have I not destroyed my enemy? That's a beautiful point, isn't it? Dalai Lama once called these people in our lives our sacred friends, the people that we've had a tendency to create friction around. He called them our sacred friends because they caused us to expand our hearts. Think about that. We should welcome those folks into our lives because they cause us to expand our hearts. As an example of that, as I was driving up the freeway here to Valley of Fire, there was a guy right behind me, and I had my Tesla on autopilot. Is driving for me now. I can sit and take pictures of the scenery, but there was obviously cars in front of me as well. They were all going at the same pace, so my Tesla just slows down and goes with the pace. So this guy behind me was honking and flashing his lights. What was he doing? He was resisting what was. What was a flow of traffic that was just flowing the speed it was flowing in, but he kept resisting that. So he pulled around, pulled in front of me, slammed the brakes, gave me a pleasant finger and all of that. What was he doing? He was resisting what was. He was creating friction. I bet you his frequency were tanking in that moment, and all he was doing was creating friction. What did I do? Had it been the old version of me, I probably would have reacted to that as well, but I just let it go. I sent him all the love. I saw him as a sacred friend that was there to help me expand my heart. So where in your life can you create that parallel to people, circumstances in your environment that could be perceived as friction, but it's there really to help you expand and not react to it. So here are a few tips that I'd really like for you to think about. These are just some pointers that will help you apply this law. And as you do, you allow prosperity to come into your life. You allow success to come into your life. What am I resisting? How can I change my focus to the thing I do want? And where can you refuse to argue? You see, argument just builds up more of that which we don't want. What can I do to make it easy for prosperity to flow into my life? And who is a sacred friend in my life, and how can I extend love to that person this week? You see, it's often the people that deserve our love the least that needs it the most. So who can you send a loving thought, a kind thought? Because that person is probably going through a lot and they don't need more friction from you. All they need is support. And it requires us to start focusing on that which we do want. And as we do that, life unfolds, success comes into our lives, and everything becomes so much better. The law of non-resistance, what a beautiful concept. And think about it, in this natural park we're standing in now, like the Grand Canyon, this valley's bigger sister, just 2 hours away from here, water carved all of this out. That's right, water did this. Why don't we try to become a little more like water and resist and stop resisting what is and just move around the obstacle? Because that is exactly what water did at one point in time that caused this magnificent wonder of nature. I mean, this is one of the most beautiful spots in the world, if you ask me. It really is. And water did that, not by resisting, by being non-resistant and moved around the obstacles and keep going. And that is what I recommend you do this week. Stop resisting and start creating. These are two very different energies, two very different frequencies, and that enables you to step out and produce those impossible goals in your life. All right? So if you're in Denmark right now, good news, we're coming your way. Real Magic Live is coming to Copenhagen and Kolding in May. So if you haven't gotten your tickets already, do that now because the early bird special really runs out next week. All right? So by that time, the ticket prices go up significantly. So secure your early bird tickets. We are almost 50% sold out, so now is the time. And if you don't have a chance to get to Denmark, then I would encourage you to click the other button below and sign up for a one-on-one coaching session with either myself or one of my team members so we can help you get to where you want to go. And I guarantee you the law of non-resistance will be part of that. I'm Anders Hansen. Thank you.